I believe that XDC could be such a big narrative during this bull run. And I don't only just believe that because I hypothetically see it going to the price of $3 during this bull run, but another reason is because I do believe that it's focused on a market that has a bunch of hype as of right now, a very good following, and also on top of that, the sentiment is very positive. Even though nothing I say is financial advice, we all know that projects that are focused on global trade and finance, focused on the payments market, they're on the rise. Take a look at Ripple, aka XRP. Take a look at the Stellar blockchain. People love that, aka XLM. People already know that these are the mainstays, but of course, people naturally, they want to look for the next big thing. What is that? Something like XDC, also something like XCN, which I'm very bullish on as well. And the way I view it is that why wouldn't XDC be the next big project when it comes to this? Because of course, people take a look back in history. They like Dogecoin, they like Shiba Inu, and then they move on to a Pepe, right? So when you take a look at, if I were to put an analogy in this whole space, XRP, it's like a Dogecoin, and then they moved on to XLM, which is like a Shiba Inu. When it comes to XDC, it feels like a Pepe to me. Now, of course, they're not meme coins, but this is just an analogy that I have for it. And even statistically speaking, it makes sense why people are so focused on projects that are focused on this area, if that makes sense, because the global trade and finance market, according to Mordor Intelligence, is predicted to reach up to $5 trillion by 2028, so that's amazing. Not to mention the payments market as of right now is currently valued at over $2 trillion. So this market again is on the rise. There's a bunch of hype, not to mention all the FUD about the SEC nonsense when it comes to XRP. It's gone. People don't care anymore. People don't care about Gary Gensler anymore. They don't care about whatever happened to Ripple. They forgot about the past. And the sentiment again is on the rise. XDC, I think it's going to be the next big one. And XDC really does give me the vibe of an XRP and XLM because after all, the XDC network is an enterprise-grade blockchain protocol that is purpose-built for global trade and finance. But there's actually other aspects that makes this very interesting because when people take a look at this, they may think, oh, it's very cookie cutter, who cares? But if you take a look at the XDC protocol, which is powering the XDC network, this can integrate data into the blockchain using something called ISO 20022. Now, why is this so special? It's because the ISO 20022 electronic data interchange standard is absolutely fantastic. It's currently being used all around the world by many financial institutions for inter-organizational data exchange. May sound like a mouthful, but you know what? I have to say it how it is, even though people may think it's a random nonsense. But again, this is very special. So I think this right here really does showcase how special it is. Not to mention, the XDC protocol, again, can be integrated with internal legacy systems, such as, for instance, Swift payment databases. Swift, of course, we know is very massive in the banking world. Not to be confused with Taylor Swift and the Kansas City Chiefs, by the way. I'm talking about a different Swift here. But again, Swift is very massive. And the way I take a look at it is that, again, XDC protocol, the XDC network, it's wonderful. And XDC just in general, I think, is gaining this amazing momentum. Take a look at the price, which I predicted to a T, by the way. So I haven't been wrong when it comes to XDC so far. Not to mention, if you take a look at the XDC network, it can currently, allegedly, I should say, facilitate over 2,000 transactions per second. So that's very impressive. Now, if we remove that, and let's say we talk about the price, keep in mind, $3 is still around a 28x from here. So it's not bad considering how massive XDC is. And keep in mind, it's not that insane anyways for it to go to that price, considering current circulating supply. Market cap would be around $45 billion, so it's not too bad. We've seen BNB reach over $100 billion, Dogecoin reach over $80 billion, so I'm not talking about crazy figures here. And I don't see why $3 is that crazy anyways, because there's many metrics that support why this could very well be the case. Take a look at the sheer amount of crypto owners, over 500 million according to Crypto.com research, more than ever before in history, pretty much double the amount that we saw when compared to the peak of the 2021 bull run. Take a look at the Bitcoin ETF, the Ethereum ETF, the number of institutional investors, the amount of enterprise adoption. I mean, this one could be so special. If Bitcoin were to go into that next gear, go to 150,000, 200,000, maybe even 250,000, could you imagine just what happens to XDC then? It could be so amazing. And again, with the hype and the rise of XRP and XLM, this really does give a lot of attention to something like XDC, which people could very well assume is the next big thing, if that makes sense. And some people may wonder, okay, why am I acquiring XDC and XCN? Because they may think, okay, why don't you acquire XRP and XLM instead? Because usually people, when they believe in this niche, in this market, usually they have a tandem, which is they believe in the Robin, which is XLM, and then they believe in the Batman, which is XRP. But for me, I'm changing that. My Batman is XDC, my Robin is XCN. It's kind of like this. If I go to Las Vegas, what do I have to do as well? I have to go to the Hoover Dam. Even though I've seen it a bunch of times, every single time I take a look at it, I'm just like, wow, I can't believe the Hoover Dam is that amazing. I get it. Some people may think it's boring, but that right there is an architectural masterpiece. Considering it was built back in the day, that right there is very special. And I can appreciate this type of stuff because my dad was an engineer, so I know this. But even besides that point, the way I view it is that when it comes to Las Vegas, that's like XDC. The Hoover Dam for me is like XCN. Some other people, their Las Vegas is an XRP. Their Hoover Dam is an XLM. But you know what? I have it the other way around. And why wouldn't I go to the Hoover Dam? Take a look at the Pat Tillman Bridge, by the way, that is right in front of it. That right there is also another masterpiece. But even besides that point, I'm just very bullish on this whole space. I think this bull run could be so amazing. I think XDC could be such a big narrative. And in the meantime, what am I going to be doing? I'm going to be dollar cost averaging. I never went all in when it comes to XDC, and I'm still never going to do that because, again, anytime an income, acquire, hold, and I just wait because I think it's a much better long-term strategy. Now, people may think that, okay, we don't even have that much longer anyways. Well, maybe, but still I'm going to do this because I've been acquiring XDC for quite a while. So at this point, anything I acquire really is just a bonus, especially considering how much XDC is pumped. But you know what? Again, I'm still going to consistently accumulate more because if, let's say, I try to dump all in at a certain time, I may get wrecked, or if I try to panic sell, so I don't want to do that. So again, just dollar cost averaging. Anytime an income, acquire, hold, and I just wait. And how much time? People may be wondering. Usually altcoins, as a worst case scenario, they peak around a year and a half after a Bitcoin halving event. Now, that would actually mean around October this year based on the last Bitcoin halving event. So again, may not be that much longer anyways, but still I'm going to be dollar cost averaging. Now, granted, I'm not exactly guaranteeing that it's going to pump, or should I say reach its peak at that point. But of course, this does give a good benchmark. And I think if anything, it showcases that 2025 could be a very special year, which is why I'm not giving up. Still acquiring XDC, and again, at that price of $3 during this bull run, that right there wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. I think XDC is a good narrative as of right now, but I think it could be a big narrative during this bull run, and I can't wait. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's only the captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.